Welcome. Today, we're not just reading fairy tales. We're really diving into the life of H.C. Andersen Hans Christian Andersen.
Right. And using his pretty extraordinary journey as maybe a guide for our own times.
Exactly. Our mission here is to trace that path, from really intense poverty to becoming this global literary figure.
And pull out some lessons for us.
Yeah, actionable things. So let's start at the beginning. The sources really paint a picture, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Odense, 1805. Born into serious hardship. Think about it. A tiny, 42 square meter home?
Shared by 12 people.
Yeah. It's almost hard to imagine that wasn't just poverty. It really shaped him.
Definitely. And his father, the shoemaker, he gave him a little taste of culture, right? Holberg's comedies.
He did, but that influence was cut short. His father died in 1816.
Ah, okay. And that threw the young Andersen into, what was it, factory work?
Yeah, apprenticeships, cloth, tobacco factories, grueling stuff. And for someone so sensitive, well, he couldn't stand it.
Which kind of explains the next big step, doesn't it?
It does. That inability to just, endure that life led to a huge gamble.
Leaving Odense at 14.
September 1819. Heads to Copenhagen with almost nothing, just 13 Rigsdaler in his pocket.
Wow. And arrives right in the middle of the Jewish feud, which was a period of unrest. Talk about timing.
Yeah, but he had this relentless ambition. That seems key.
Okay, so ambition gets him to the city, but how did he actually turn that leap into something sustainable? That's the interesting part.
Well, it wasn't instant success. He faced rejections, like for his early play, The Robbers of Wissenberg.
Right.
But he was good at leveraging connections, people like Siboni and especially Jonas Collin, who became a sort of guardian.
Okay, connections helped.
Yeah.
What was the real breakthrough?
The big turning point seems to be 1822. The director of the Royal Theatre saw something in him.
And critically.
King Frederick VI. The king granted him funding for a proper education.
Ah, so state support. That's huge.
It legitimized him. Sent him to school, Slagels Gymnasium, then eventually Copenhagen University in 1828. That gave him breathing room.
The space to find his voice.
Exactly. And he found it with incredible self-awareness. He had this great insight about fairy tales.
What was that?
He said something like, "Fairy tale writing is poetry's most extensive kingdom."
Meaning it could hold everything.
Yeah, the tragic, the comic, the naive, the humorous. It wasn't limiting. It was expansive.
That's a powerful realization.
And it led to a smart move, almost like marketing. He changed how he titled his collections from
Sure.
fairy tales told for children initially to just fairy tales.
Ah, signaling they were for everyone.
Precisely. Recognizing adults were reading them too. That's a big reason they're translated into, over 100 languages now.
We all know The Little Mermaid, Emperor's New Clothes, Ugly Duckling.
But we often forget his other work. He was a successful novelist. The Improvisator did really well.
And a travel writer, too. A poet's bazaar.
Right. He was prolific across genres.
So looking at all that, the life, the work, what are the universal lessons here? Why do these stories still resonate so much?
I think it's because they're fundamentally allegories for, the human condition.
Joy, sorrow.
Defeat, victory, deceit, gullibility. Think The Emperor's New Clothes.
Right.
He showed that sometimes the clearest view comes from the supposed simple perspective, the child, the outsider.
Like The Ugly Duckling. It's often seen as autobiographical, isn't it?
Very much so. It's about feeling like an outcast, judged, and then finding your place. That authenticity, that vulnerability, that's what connects.
He seemed to have this deep faith that things would work out. He famously described his own life.
A beautiful fairy tale, so rich and blissful.
Even saying that from bad came good, from pain came joy. Is that a realistic takeaway, though? Or just his specific experience?
Well, it was his core belief.
Yep.
He saw setbacks not as failures, but as necessary steps, preparation for something better, resilience embodied, really.
It's a powerful way to frame struggle. And that perspective carries through right to the end, doesn't it? The lines on his gravestone.
Yeah, they're quite profound, about the soul being incorruptible, created in God's image.
Our earth life here is eternity's seed. Our body dies, but the soul cannot die. It connects the hardship to a larger purpose.
Absolutely. That faith seems central to understanding him.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is, what if your current challenges aren't the whole story?
What if this is just the ugly duckling part?
Right. Viewing it that way. What's the next step, the calculated gamble you might take? Something to think about.
Indeed.
Join us next time for another deep dive.